introduce yourselves.
Good evening and welcome to Parkland TV for tonight's football game between the Parkland High School Trojans and Pocono Mountain West Panthers. I'm Hannah Fredrich.
And I'm Daniel Franzone. And tonight's game is the first game of the 11 district playoffs, where Parkland is the number 1 seed and Pocono Mountain West is the number 8 seed.
We're now going to head down to the field for the Parkland High School Marching Band.
Yeah, we're all diesel freaks. They're diesel freaks.
Well, the guy that you wanted from cut all those trees down.
He had a little tough time with his dad, also Ralph. Ralph lives with George in that White House. Jonathan lives in, the youngest boy lives in the little place. David left. He was too close and always bossing around. Not that it's a family secret, but little Ralph, we call him little Ralph, because he was a colonel. Ralph would push him to things too. David. So yeah. So what brings you to the game? Nice. Did they let you in? I had to pay. Yeah, I'm
So you gotta pay for each contestant.
I know, once it became a district thing, they didn't do that, so I didn't know they were still doing it. Because you had to buy the stupid ticket online. I can't.
Not anymore. You go to the website, you look to the left, it says right there.
I could not find it, so I missed it. It's there.
All you do is go to District 11.
Well, that's why I read it before I got my ticket. I couldn't see it, so I missed it. It's my fault. Yeah, I've been coming to free since I retired.
This is the first year that all these are the best. It's not just football. You go to field hockey and girls play.
Yeah, once it became district playoffs, they wanted you to pay, so now they're not doing that. But they're going to be when they reach the states. Yeah. After Parkland, if they win tonight, they play here next weekend, and then they go to a neutral site and try to get
So that's where district 11 comes.
Yeah.
Then after that,
Yeah, because they never let seniors in, those guys.
people on there, you should be able to yell at them. This is the first year that they ever did. I went down to the that is the front page of the there's a bunch of District 11, but you gotta make sure you're coming in.
I ended up wondering what it was. I don't know this team. Yeah, it was in Michigan or Wisconsin.
They're in Colorado, they're in Colorado.
I spent 3 years remodeling my system, fixing up the system. They had no water. The Hefner Farm, where the White House is, my dad lived, and then just toward Fulkersville is a little rancher that's water and dirt, and then the next house, it's a little house and a barn before you go up to the back of the master. But she owned that for a long time, so
If you keep going down, it will call it.
yeah, Hefner. Yeah, it's after you go to the 78, then it goes all the way back up to Sunshine. Well, back to her farm is on Cemetery Court. Cemetery Road goes down the hill up to the church. You walk across her farm. So his dad had horses in there, and there was like a foot of soil. So I couldn't get in with the machine, so I wheelbarrowed 30 by 50 foot of soil, a wheelbarrow. And it had a bend in the beam, and so I jacked it up and put 3 foot by 3 foot.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
For your pregame entertainment, Parkland High School is proud to present the 2021 edition of the Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band under the field direction of drum majors Isabella Landis, Alina Attia, Lucy Schilling, and field conductor Rowan Keister. Tonight, we are proud to honor America's veterans and those who are currently serving in the military with our Armed Forces Medley, featuring the service songs of the United States Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Navy, and Marines. If you have served or are currently serving, please stand and be recognized as your service song is played. The Air Force. The Army. The Coast Guard. The Navy. The Marines. We conclude our pregame performance by honoring America with the traditional patriotic tune, America. Ladies and gentlemen, your Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band.
Testing, 1, 2, testing.
For tonight's game, it is for the Parkland Trojans and Pocono Mountain West. Parkland is 8-1 with one loss to Allentown Central Catholic, and Pocono Mountain West is 5-4. So it'll be interesting to see what tonight looks like and how it plays out. But due just to records, I'd have to say I think Parkland is going to pull through.
I would say Parkland but they should have a clear-cut chance of winning tonight's game. Only because I'm interested to see what DeLear Adams will be able to do tonight, because he's been the main focus for Parkland this whole entire season of just running and pounding the ball tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what DeLear Adams will be able to do tonight. during in tonight's game. Obviously, of course. Other than that, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see what the QB situation is gonna be like. To see if Ty Tremble is gonna be starting tonight, or if it's gonna be Luke Spang, because Ty Tremble's collarbone was, of course, he broke it or he fractured his collarbone. So it's gonna be interesting to see what if he's gonna be starting tonight during tonight's playoff game.
Even though he was a sophomore, Luke Spang was still able to keep the Trojans going, even with the loss of their senior QB1, which, for any sophomore, that's big shoes to fill.
That is big shoes to fill, and he really impressed me during the season. With Luke Spang, he's not too much of a flashy passer, but he is very capable of running the ball. He's very, I'm trying to look for the word. He's very elusive, if that's the word I'm looking for. He's very elusive.
Please stand and remove your hats as the Parkland
And now
Trojan
the
Marching
national
Band
anthem.
plays the Parkland High School alma mater, followed by our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm personal welcome to the Pocono Mountain West Panthers. And here come your Trojans. Welcome everyone to the PIAA District 11 6A opening round of the playoffs. captains for the Trojans, Nico Medler, Marco Galatovic, Brock Boyer, Noah Rodi.
Welcome to Parkland TV and Film for tonight's coverage of the first round of the District 11 playoffs between the Parkland Trojans and Pocono Mountain West Panthers. I'm Hannah Fredrich.
And I'm Danny Franzo. And tonight's game is the first game of the District 11 tournament playoffs, where Parkland is the number 1 seed and Pocono Mountain West is the number 8 seed.
Currently, it is the captain's call, where the captains from both schools will have the coin toss to see who will kick off and who will turn.
Elected to receive.
Tom Whalen, Jim Joseph, and Mark Caesar.
Pocono Mountain West is going to elect to receive the ball, and then starting the second half, then Parkland will then receive the ball starting the second half of the
Chick-fil-A
game.
sandwiches, hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, Janville turkey barbecue, walking tacos, Philly soft pretzels, nachos with cheese, candy, 8-treat sodas, and hot chocolate. Walk over to the concession stand during the game to satisfy your hunger and thirst. And yes, I said hot chocolate. Griffin misstep on for the kickoff. Reggie and Lawrence back deep for the Panthers.
And Griffin Stiffer kicks the ball down deep to the field, and a bunch of Parkland Trojan high school football players then end up tackling number 8. It appeared to be on the
stop for the Trojans.
Okay.
The 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 17.
The ball seems to appear on the 18-yard line.
The Panthers on their own 17 will, and there is a flag down on the play.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 16 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that is not a good start to the Pocono Mountain West team, having an offside penalty already setting them back 5 yards. Setting them back 5 yards already, which is not really good field position considering that they already had the ball at the 18-yard line. This is not a good start for Pocono Mountain West right now.
Parkland's defense usually creates a shift which can make their opponents uneasy, but Pocono Mountain will get the successful pass
Armand's pass
off
complete
to
number 4, Jaden
number
Bowens.
4.
Completion is good for a Panther. First
The
down.
ball will be on the 34-yard line. This is not a good start right now for a deep pass to go that far down the field for Parkland right now, but I will expect some shifts to be made for the defensive line because they are very they like to get a lot of pressure onto the QB, and I expect a lot of shifts to happen.
Pocono Mountain will try to run the ball up their field through the quarterback, and he might have gotten the first down.
Knocked out of bounds by Nico Medler. Carry is good for Panther.
He will end up getting the first down on that 10-yard game where he ran for a scramble to the right side. Number 88 was really close. Payne Marciniak, he was really close to sacking the QB, but he could not just complete the tackle. And number 9 will end up throwing the ball to number 13 on and number 21 for Parkland, which is Mason DePro. He ended up, seems like he ended up tripping, but he had a quick little recovery to stop number 13 from having a big gain. The ball will be on the 48-yard line, and let's see how Pocono Mountain West responds. Number 9 will do a quick little handoff to the running back for Pocono Mountain West, and he will get stopped right away. Not too much of a quick gain. The ball will be on the 49-yard line, close to the 50-yard line.
Parkland's defense is pretty good at stopping those runs up the middle, so it'll be really important for Pocono Mountain West to realize that if they plan to run the ball, because they will be stopped there.
Parkland so far seems to be running a 4-3 defense, which means that they have more defensive people on the defensive line, and I haven't really seen too much shifting right now, so that's going to be interesting to see as this game progresses, to see if Parkland will now start switching up some of the defensive sets that they will end up doing. As number 9 seems to have disrupted the little passing play that number 9 for Pocono Mountain West threw. It seems that he got pressured and he got a little bit scared, so he threw the ball too quick because he didn't want to take the sack.
Trey Tremba back deep for the Trojans. So Worich on for the punt.
And Pocono Mountain is going to punt it, and the Trojans will run it back.
Trey Tremba on the return.
Trey Tremba will end up getting a 10-yard, 15-yard return on that punt.
First and 10 Trojans from their own 35.
The Trojans will have the ball right on their 35, and we'll see what they do with their first offensive play of the game.
And Luke Spang will be taking the field. No Ty Tremba for tonight then. Luke Spang will be then the QB taking the ball tonight. Back in shotgun formation. Luke Spang hits Trey Tremba on a quick little out route, as Trey Tremba will then be stopped on the 47, 48-yard line.
Spang's pass complete to number 22, Trey Tremba. Europe on the coverage. Completion is good for Trojan. First down.
Luke Spang will hand the ball off to Delir Adams, and he will be stopped at the 50-yard line. Not a really good run for Delir Adams to get stopped that quickly. It will be. He should take advantage of the opportunity, and I do think he will have a good game though this game, and he will explode.
As that was his first run of the game, obviously it's important for him to realize and for the team to realize in general what this Pocono Mountain West defense will do.
Luke Spang is looking down the field, and he will hit
Number 2, Nico Medler.
Nico Medler will make the catch at the
Switchers go for the
15-yard
Trojans.
line.
First down. Georgia, Europe in the coverage for the Panthers.
I would fully expect Parkland to take advantage of this field position. They have a really good field position right now, but this is the hardest part of scoring a touchdown is the red zone right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what Luke Spang will do. As he hears the ball, hands the ball up to Dewey Adams, and he cuts in the middle, and he cuts again. 10, 5, touchdown, Dewey Adams.
Touchdown Trojans. Adams with a 19-yard scamper.
And the Trojans will have the first points of the night with a touchdown by Delier Adams, who ran the ball in off of Luke Spang.
Remember, I told you how he has to get explosive. That is exactly what Parkland is now looking for Dewey Adams to get explosive, and he's going to be a major key player tonight if the Parkland does look to win this game.
That play by Delier Adams has been seen every single game. Those touchdowns getting run in, and it's very impressive to watch.
During the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the red, 55. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. Penalties offset, extra point.
There was some unsportsmanlike conduct going on both sides, but as that was happening on both sides, the penalties will cancel each other out, and Griffin Mitstofer will line up to take the kick.
Stanford's extra point is good with 7:53 remaining in the first.
Griffin missed the first extra point attempt is good. 7-0 Parkland.
With just under 8 minutes left in the first quarter, it was important for Parkland to get those points up on their first offensive push for the game, and we'll see how their defense now responds to Pocono Mountain having the ball.
Yeah, that was really good for Parkland. They did not need the ball to start the game, so already they're up the score. They're up on Pocono Mountain West, so that was really good for them to score. And the hardest part, as I said, with the red zone.
On West was number 69. That's the first for both players.
Mid-step on for the kickoff.
As Griffin Mitstofer will kick the ball. And it seems to have gone out of bounds.
Your first and 10 West from their own 20, 7:51 remaining in your first quarter of play.
And Parkland's running that 4-3 defense formation yet again. I expect a little bit of pressure coming off from both sides of the ball. And number 2, which is Nico Medler, will be getting a little bit of pressure, as number 21 will then get the ball past him, and he will then be down at the 28-yard line.
Armand's pass complete. Number 21, Marinovich to Perlin. Pagan combining the stop for the Trojans. And we've got 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 1.
It looked like that last play was almost like a trick pass, looking like he was going to hand it off to one of his running backs, but then threw the ball, and I don't know if that was intentional because it looked a little off, but it very well might have been a screen.
As number 21 for Pocono Mountain West will then get the ball handed off to him yet again, and the Parkland's defensive line will then shut down the running back for Pocono Mountain West.
Caden Bowen's your ball carrier. Feet on the stop for the Trojans. 2 in the play. It'll be 30.
A person that I've been really paying attention to though so far this game is Nico Medler, because he seems to be in like a slot cornerback position, and it almost looks like he wants to go and try to sack the quarterback, to sack the quarterback right away. But it seems like something's like holding him back, where he's getting held back, where he just does not want to let up that give up that big play. So I would really watch out for number 2, Nico Medler, on the left hand side. As Nico Medler did not intercept the ball. He was really close to it, but he ended up stopping the passing play.
Like you said, we are going to have to look out for Nico Medler. He is a magnet for that ball, and if he keeps pushing and pushing, he will eventually get it.
And the ball will be down then at the 32-yard line on Parkland side of the ball. Parkland side of the field, sorry. It's going to be interesting then to see if Parkland can then repeat what happened on the first drive, where they can then punch the ball and get another touchdown, because that will be very crucial for them.
It'll also be interesting to see whether Luke Spang chooses to throw the ball or try and run the ball up the field, as they had success in both areas last offensive run.
As Parkland's looking to take the field, as you said, it's going to be interesting to see what Luke Spang can do, because he's one of those versatile quarterbacks, as I mentioned earlier, where he can run the ball and he can pass the ball. As he will then hit number 10, which is Nakai Bullock, for a quick little slant, and the ball will be then down at the 43-yard line.
Nakai Bullock is catching his breath right now. There might have been some injury there, but we will see what happens when an athletic trainer runs on the field.
Completion is good for a Trojan, first down.
And Parkland did end up getting the first down then, so Nakai Bullock's catch was good then for 10 yards. Luke Spang will then hand the ball off to Delir Adams. No, it was a fake. Luke Spang will then run the ball then out of the 45-yard line on Pocono Mountain side of the field for another first down. As I told you, Luke Spang, I told you have to watch out for his speed. He's a very versatile QB where he can pass and run the ball.
That'll be something, if Parkland can execute correctly and well, that'll be something that is very helpful for them in these offensive plays.
Yep, that's going to be very crucial for Parkland. Him and Delir Adams. As Luke Spang will then hand the ball to Delir Adams, and he will run to the right side of the ball, and he will then be stopped down at the 47-yard line.
Joshua Martin on the stop.
And Nakai Bullock is then back on the field. He didn't seem to be then too injured and too banged up that, which is a good thing for Parkland, because he was the first catch of the game and he seems to be doing pretty well so far. As Luke Spang will then look down the field, and he will have number 24, incomplete, but it was a good pass by Luke Spang. He just couldn't complete it.
It was a good look, and number 24 was there, but it just wasn't in their favor and just didn't get to him.
I'll look for Luke Spang to hit someone on a quick little slant this play. And no, the ball will then be handed off to Delir Adams, and he will then be stopped at the 40-yard line.
Matthew Marinovich on the stop.
He was just shy on that run for the yard to gain, but we will see what they do now.
Parkland's going for on fourth down, and this is going to be set the tempo really early in this game. And it's both running backs are then, it's both wide receivers are then running quick little drag routes, and he hits number 2, which is Nico Medler, on the quick little end route.
Nico Medler is such a dynamic player, being able to be such a force to reckon with on defense and offense, getting this crucial pass for the Trojans on the offensive side of things, but also being there to stop the plays for defense.
That is very true, and what was even more impressing, was that he was able to catch that ball in traffic with 2 defenders. It seemed to appear that were on him. As number 22 Trey Tremble will then take the ball in the backfield, and he will run it towards the right side of the field, and he will then have the ball down at the 25-yard line.
George Europe on the stop for the Panthers.
22-yard line, sorry.
Spang will throw the ball, but it was blocked on the line by Pocono Mountain West, number 9.
Parkland so far earlier in this game, it seems to be running shotgun formation, which is something that it's a very simple concept where Luke Spang could either hand the ball to Julia Adams or he can pass it. So it seems to be like they feel more comfortable with Luke Spang in this formation.
And it seems to be working. He can run it, he can throw it, he's passed it off to Delia Adams multiple times, and they will continue to do that if that continues to work.
As Julia Adams will then be stopped by the defensive front line for Pocono Mountain West. Luke Spank's calling for the first down. It's going to be interesting to see if they did get the first down. It seems to be pretty close.
Adams carry is good for a Trojan. First down.
And Luke Spank was correct. He did get the first down. Julia Adams did get the first down. As Julia Adams will then get the hand of the ball again towards the right side of the field, and he will then be stopped down at the 10-yard line.
Jeffrey Thompson on the stop.
With this far in red zone territory, I will expect the ball to be handed to Julia Adams a lot, and towards this side of the field in red zone, really close to the field.
It worked for the Trojans' last touchdown. We'll see what they do for an attempt at this one.
Luke Spang hikes the ball and hands the ball to Julia Adams, and Julia Adams will run up the middle for another touchdown. 13-0 Parkland. Pocono Mountain West 0.
And that was once again another play where Delia Adams was just able to run it up the field, push through the traffic, and get that point for the Trojans. Griffin Mitstofer will come back out to kick yet again another point for the Trojans.
Nico Meller will then take the snap, and Griffin Mitstofer will then kick the extra point attempt. As Griffin Mitstofer's extra point attempt is good. 14-0 Parkland, Pocono Mountain West 0.
With under 3 minutes left in this first quarter, Pocono Mountain West is seriously going to have to try and pick up the pace if they're going to try and get on the board soon and stop that Parkland momentum.
It's really bad for a team to know then that if they're down 14-0 and they receive the ball to begin the game, it's really crushing knowing that you could have these points up on the board and have the early advantage lead, but they do not, and Parkland has 14 and Pocono Mountain West has 0. It's really crushing.
It could set up the pace for how the rest of the game and the tone for how the rest of the game goes for this Pocono Mountain West team, so we'll see how they respond.
Richie and Lawrence back deep for the Panthers.
Griffin Mitstofer will kick the ball once again, and Pocono Mountain will try and run it up the field.
As he will then be stopped at the 15-yard line.
And the stop for the Trojans. First and 10 Panthers from their own 17.
This will be first and 10 for the Panthers on their own 17, and we will see what they do with this first play.
Back in shotgun formation, and Parkland's running a 4-3 defense, and QB for Pocono Mountain West will then look towards down the field for number 13, and he will hit him at the... Oh, the ball is fumbled, the ball is fumbled, the ball is fumbled, and number 4 for Parkland, which is Will Carrick, will then recover. Are they going to call an incomplete pass, which it should be a fumble because the ball is out. He did have forward momentum, and he did have full possession of the ball. The refs are all talking to see if the ball was fumbled or not, which it should be a fumble because he did take 2 steps, had full possession, and the ball did come out.
The Parkland players are signaling that it should be their ball.
Khalifi on the coverage.
As Parkland's defense is now coming off the field, it appears that Parkland did end up, that Pocono Mountain West did end up fumbling the ball, and Parkland did end up recovering it by Will Carrick. Will Carrick recovered the ball.
That can be a really hard thing for this offense for Pocono Mountain West to have to deal with after that was what seemed to be their last try and push for some points in this first quarter.
It's really bad for their team morale right now. They must be pretty down because if Parkland ends up scoring here, it's 21-0, and Pocono Mountain West did end up receiving the ball first. So by the time halftime arrives, they will not get the ball to receive this third quarter.
The first and 10 Trojans. The Panther 48.
With over 2 minutes left in this first quarter, there is so much time left for this Parkland offense to get yet again another touchdown.
As Luke Singh will then hand the ball to Trey Tremba, and Trey Tremba will run towards out of bounds towards the right side at the 43-42 yard line.
Just out of bounds, number 2, Joshua Martin. Gain of about 7 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 3 Trojans.
As Parkland will then be in that shotgun formation yet again with Trey Tremba in the backfield. Luke Spang will take the ball, look towards number 24 of Parkland, which is Jendel Sanchez, and he will still stay in bounds after the missed tackle by Pocono Mountain West.
Lawrence and Drummond combine on the stop. Gain of 2 in the play. Be 3rd and 1.
Luke Spang will take the ball, hand the ball to Trey Tremba, and he will run it towards the right side of the field, going down to the 30-yard line. Parkland's run game so far Parkland's run game has seemed to be really working so far this game.
And they haven't even just been using one person. You know, Luke Spank has ran the ball, Delir Adams has run the ball, Trey Tremba has run the ball. This offense really is very dynamic and have multiple players that can do multiple good things when they have the ball.
This defense, with how long it's been on the field, is going to start seeing some fatigue with how long it's been on the field. Luke Spang will then take the ball, look, and run up towards the middle. He was looking towards the left side of the field, but could not get the target open. So he then decides to run up the field, and would then be down at the 25-yard line.
Pick up a 3 in the play. He's 2nd and 7.
Back in the shotgun, Luke Spang will get the ball and will hand it off to Trey Tremba, who will once again run the ball.
with less than 45 seconds then remaining, Parkland, this is enough time for Parkland to go down the field and score.
There are 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Trey Trumbo will then come off the field and Delir Adams will then enter in for him. Luke Spang hands the ball off to Delir Adams and he cuts towards the left side and he will be stopped by Pocono Mountain West's defensive line. The ball will be down at the 21-yard line. The ball is marked shy of the first down.
And that is the first quarter for the game. Parkland 14, Pocono Mountain West 0. The Parkland Food Service Department is hiring. Working here will be the best part of your day. We need people to work 4 hours per day at $15.69 an hour, or to be put on our sub list so that you will work only on days that you want to. Be part of a team, serve students nutritious meals, and go home knowing that you helped a child today. Visit www.parklandsd.org/jobs to apply.
Scoring updates for you. Freedom 14, Easton 0. And in the first, Nazareth 6, Emmaus 0.
Speaking about the lunch ladies, whenever I go to 7th period and the lunch ladies there always treat me nice, so I really recommend you guys becoming a lunch lady or a food service employee.
Adams carries good for a Trojan. First
Back
down.
now in the second half, Delir Adams has carried the ball for the Trojans. First down.
I expect the ball to be handed off yet again to Delir Adams in this kind of situation where it's closer to the red zone and they don't want to pass it to give up an interception. Luke Spang will look for number 24 for the touchdown, and he has him.
17-yard touchdown for the Trojans.
17-yard touchdown, Jendel Sanchez. The score is now 20 nothing. Parkland in the lead. As Griffin
Mitzdefer will come back out to take the extra point kick once again for Parkland.
For the extra point, Medler to hold.
Nico Medler will then take the snap. Griffin Mitzdefer's extra point attempt is good. 21-0. Parkland in the lead.
11:29 remaining in your second quarter of play. Parkland 21, Pocono Mountain West 0.
And the band will finish off that touchdown with the fight song.
The Parkland football team would like to thank our Trojan level sponsors: Stu's Tire Center, Ironson Auto Body, Red Tomato Pizzeria, Plantique, St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Please support our sponsors.
As we once again mentioned earlier on in the game, Pocono Mountain West's defense must be getting really tired, and their team morale must be pretty down right now, considering they received the ball and now they're down 21-0, which is not a good start for them. If they're even looking to make a comeback, this is going to be really hard for them.
Emotions run high in playoff games anyway, as there is so much on the line, so we'll see what this Pocono Mountain defense will do. Griffin Mitzdefer will kick the ball off, and Pocono Mountain West will run it up the middle.
Pocono Mountain West will then be stopped at the 30-yard line.
Jake Eitelman on the tackle for the Trojans.
This offense will have to reach deep into a bag of tricks to pull some miracle off. This game has not gone their way at all, and the Parkland's defense has been really impressive, which they've gone a bunch of turnovers, a bunch of stops. This Pocono Mountain West offense is not doing too good right now. I would watch for Nico Miller on the right side, and number 9 for Pocono Mountain West will then hit his wide receiver towards the left side of the field, and he will then be stopped by number
Pass complete to Brandon Evans. Khalifi on the stop.
number 6 on the defense by Victor Pregame. Pocono Mountain West hit his wide receiver for a 3-yard gain. Pocono Mountain West will then take the snap, and the QB will run towards the left side of the field, and he will have enough for the first down.
Armand on the keeper.
Even that first down will be a positive thing for Pocono Mountain West to have happened in this second quarter, because just that slight bit of momentum can get them going.
Right now, Pocono Mountain West is hoping for anything right now. Any sort of game right now is a positive outlook for them right now.
Prior to the snap, false start. 73 on the offense.
False start on the offense, and that, as I mentioned earlier, they had a 10-yard gain, and now they're back 5 yards. This is not looking too good for Pocono Mountain West. First and 15 at the 35-yard line. Pocono Mountain West will then be lined up in shotgun formation, and they will have their 3 wide receivers all towards the right side of the field. Pocono Mountain West will then hand the ball off to number 4, and he will have a quick little 4-yard gain before being stopped by Parkland's defensive line.
Leading the way for the Trojans.
Parkland's defense is seeming like they feel pretty confident in themselves right now. They look confident. They look like they know what they're going to do and when they should do it, and they're hoping to continue their clean streak with 0 points on the board right now for Pocono Mountain.
If I was Pocono Mountain West right now, I would start passing the ball a lot more, because them running the ball is wasting a lot of time off the clock. Which I was right, and number 9 will then look for a Pocono Mountain West wide receiver down the field, and he will not have the completion.
Parkland is proving time and time again that they will stop a ball that is run, and if Pocono Mountain West cannot have that connection there between their quarterback and their receivers, they simply won't gain any yards.
Number nine for Pocono Mountain West will then hit his wide receiver for a quick little drag route, quick little in route. The ball will then be stopped at the 45-yard line. And we have an update for the Freedom game. It is 17-0 Freedom.
For the Freedom game, Freedom is beating Easton.
Number 9 for then the QB for Pocono Mountain West will then fight for some yards, and he will then be stopped by the Parkland's defensive line.
That looked like that was almost all of Parkland's
Yeah.
defenders there to stop him on that play.
And that's very crucial because they just got stopped on a 4th down, so the ball should go back now to Parkland. As Parkland's offense is now getting set to take the field, Pocono Mountain West has really not contributed too much this game, and right now this offense has been put in really good field position. That all I'm going to say is this: the Pocono Mountain West defense must be really tired right now.
Okay, hey, we got a timeout. Let's do fanfare and tribute. Fanfare and
As Parkland will now take the field with Delir Adams in the backfield, lining up in shotgun formation. Luke Spang will then take the quick hike. We'll look towards number 8, which is Andrew Khalifi, and he will then run towards down the field at close to the 31-yard line.
Pass complete to Khalifi. John McNeil in the stop. Bang to Khalifi connection is good for a Trojan first down.
That will result in a Trojans first down, and the Trojans will be on the 31-yard line for their next attempt at another first down.
Ty Trumper then gets motion towards the left side of the field, and Luke Spang will then keep the ball and run up the middle to the 20-yard line. He will not be denied for the first down. He will run and plow over towards the Pocono Mountain West defensive front line in the middle and the linebackers.
Spang's carry is good for another Trojan first down.
Again, that's a prime example of Luke Spang being able to carry that ball up the field when he doesn't have other options with his offensive players.
Luke Spang will then look for number 2, which is Nico Meller, another Parkland touchdown. 27-0 Pocono Mountain West. He then hits Nico Meller on the quick little post route, and Nico Meller then does what Nico Meller does, and he scores another touchdown.
Nico Meller has had a very strong game tonight, both offensively and defensively, having great stops for on Pocono Mountain West, and also now having great offensive plays, including this touchdown.
As Griffin Mittstiffer will then take the extra point attempt. And the extra point attempt is good. 28-0 Parkland in the lead.
Remaining in your first half of play, Parkland 28, Pocono Mountain West 0. Don't forget to visit the Spirit Wear stand to purchase Parkland football game gear. We have a new logo this 2021 season on short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and beanies. New this year is the Parkland alumni logo on golf shirts. Show your Parkland football pride while looking stylish. Don't forget to swing by the football concession stand for a Chick-fil-A sample. Hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, Jandal turkey barbecue, walk-in tacos, Philly soft pretzels, nachos with cheese, candy, A-treat sodas, and hot chocolate.
Pocono Mountain West is now taking the field, and so is Parkland. What are your thoughts so far on the game?
I mean, Parkland has had control, I'd say, a really good portion of the game, and Pocono Mountain West defense is clearly tired, and that's showing in how they're playing. And overall, if their defense is tired, their probably morale is low, and that's why the offense can't get any points. Griffin Midstifer will take the kick again for the Trojans, and Pocono Mountain West will run it up the field.
As Pocono Mountain West will then be stopped at the 36-yard line. That was a really good run. Which may be signs of improvement.
We'll see what they can do when their offense takes the field. There certainly was some buzz in the hallways today at Parkland High School about how the football team was going in pretty confident and thinking that they had this game in the bag, and as the score is showing, they were definitely correct.
As Pocono Mountain West is now lined up in shotgun formation, and Nico Mettler is now looking to pressure the QB off the left-hand side, and he will then miss the tackle. And Pocono Mountain West QB will then run the ball all the way down the field towards the 18-yard line, and then he will then run out of bounds. That was a really good run. It's unfortunate Nico Mettler couldn't get the stop, but I expect him next time.
That is what Pocono Mountain needed to do to get back into this game, was take those big plays and big opportunities that they had and turn them into something to be able to gain so many yards.
What's going to be interesting now is they haven't really hit this side of the field, so it's going to be interesting to see how their red zone playbook is now, because that running, except for that run, has not existed up till this point. As Pocono Mountain West will now hand the ball off, and as I said, that run game has not existed up until this point. So, if I was Pocono Mountain West, I would look for quick little underneath routes that where QB can make the throws, or just look for him to do a lot of RPOs where he can then just run the ball himself, because that's the only thing that seems to be working so far at this game.
I was going to say the same thing, because Parkland's defense is right there to stop it every single time that they try to do one of those run plays where they just try and go straight through Parkland's defense. It's not going to work. It hasn't worked all night, and I wouldn't expect anything to change.
It is 2nd and 8, and Pocono Mountain West is now lined up in shotgun formation. Pocono Mountain West QB will now look for his wide receiver down towards field, and the ball will now be stopped by a Parkland defensive cornerback. As I said, I do not want to, if I was Pocono Mountain West, I would not look for any deep throws. I will look for quick little in routes, because that's the only thing that should be working right now, because those deep throws have been shut down by Parkland all night.
Parkland is seeking substitute teachers. A valid teacher certificate is required. Please call the Human Resources Office to reserve your spot at 610-351-5530. More information about daily substitute positions is available at www.parklandsd.org/subs. Substitutes are very important. Today alone, I had 3 substitutes, as many teachers were out today, so good substitutes are always in need everywhere.
Pocono Mountain West will then be lined up in shotgun formation with 3 wide receivers towards the left side of the field, and number 9 for Pocono Mountain West will now be pressured, and he will now be forced to run up the middle, and he will then run, hurdles over, does a quick little jump over the Pocono Parkland defender, and he will then be stopped at the 2-yard line.
Good sportsmanship there showed by Pocono Mountain West number 4 as he helped a Parkland player up. But this will be a very difficult position for the Parkland defense to be in, and the first time tonight that they've really been in that critical moment where they have only 2 yards to stop Pocono Mountain from getting any points.
And you have to get credit where credit's due. Pocono Mountain West's QB has been doing really good so far this drive, where he's been having to run the ball, pass the ball, and looks like Parkland's defensive line will now be will stop the run play in the backfield.
Army of Trojans on the stop. 2nd and goal from the 3.
Parkland's lined up in this goal line defense, and they have now motioned the fullback all the way to the right side. And the run game, as I said, has not been existent for these running backs at all this whole entire night. If I was the QB, I would do a quick little shotgun formation where it's an RPO, where you could either pass the ball on a quick little slant towards the wide receiver on the left side, or I just run it and just hope to get in and not get stopped by this Parkland defensive line.
What you said at this point will be their best option because Parkland's defense is there every time to stop it.
Panthers from the 5.
As Pocono Mountain West seem as confused, and they're now exiting the field.
This timeout comes at a very crucial time for Pocono Mountain West, as this is what could be, with 4 minutes and 23 seconds left in this second quarter, this could be their last attempt at getting some points on the board for this half. And if they go into it scoreless, that could have morale very low.
Some quick scoring updates for
If
you.
Pocono Mountain West does end up getting stopped here and Parkland ends up scoring, that mercy rule is now going to be on their mind this whole entire night, where that hour-long bus drive back to the Pocono Mountain West is going to be a pretty long one, and that bus ride must not feel too good after a game where if they do end up getting mercy rule, that bus ride must not be good. And Parkland will end up receiving the ball the third quarters, so they have to also keep that in mind. Going into this, if they do not convert here on this 3rd and 5 and Parkland ends up scoring, it could be a quick little 42-0 game where Parkland ends up scoring then on the third quarter to receive the ball. We are definitely looking at 4th down territory right here, and number 9 will then it will then be an RPO. Seems like where the QB will end up passing it. He does have a chance to run, and he will then truck over Parkland defender, and he will then end up scoring the touchdown. As I said, this is the only thing that seems to be working for Pocono Mountain West, is where he has those quick little slant routes or the out route towards the running back, where he could either pass it or just run the ball in. That's what seems to be working so far for Pocono Mountain West, and they will not have to worry about the mercy rule quite yet.
Pocono Mountain West will come onto the field to take their extra point. And the extra point was not good for Pocono Mountain West.
And talk about when you have a good drive in, you expect your kicker to make the extra point, and he just did not. So it's now 28-6, Parkland in the lead.
Remaining in your first half of play. Parkland 28. Pocono Mountain West 6.
And an update on another game for the playoff game. Allentown Central Catholic is beating Pottsville 14-0. Allentown Central Catholic was a game that Parkland lost earlier on in the season, but I would expect if Parkland does end up having to go up against Allentown Central Catholic, where the game is completely different because that's when they just had Luke Spang. He didn't really know the offense, so I would expect things to be completely switched around during that game if they do end up going up against Allentown Central Catholic.
Joel Wyraton with the kickoff. Trey Cherba, Nikai Bullock back deep for the Trojans.
Pocono Mountain West will kick off, and it looks like Nikai Bullock will run it up the field for the Trojans, and he is still going, getting to about the 45-yard line. It looks like that was a great play for the Trojans and a great start to this offensive push.
That was a great run by Nikai Watson. Great field position, and it's with the amount of time that's left, 4 minutes 12 seconds, I could easily see Parkland scoring 2 touchdowns where they get the ball. If they do end up getting a quick stop on Pocono Mountain West, and they end up scoring another touchdown, this could be an easy mercy rule here that we're looking at if Parkland does end up stopping and scoring here. As Nikai Watson will then shift towards the left side of the field, and he will then hit number 24, which is Jendel Sanchez, and he will run towards the 40, run out of bounds at the 33-yard line. That was a really good pass by Luke Spang, where he then ends up hitting number 24.
Number 21, Matthew Marinovich. Completion is good for a Trojan first down.
That'll be another timeout, which will be very crucial to both teams as Parkland is looking for that one last try at getting a touchdown and getting more points on the board, and Pocono Mountain West is trying to continue to the momentum that they built up with their touchdown to try and stop this Parkland offense from scoring another one.
As Luke Spang will now take the field yet again, and he will then hike the ball, look for a quick little drag route underneath, or he will then end up running the ball, passing the ball. Yeah, he threw it past the line of scrimmage. That's a really crucial mistake towards this close to the end zone. You really can't afford those costly mistakes right now.
A flag is down on the play, and we will see what the refs call it as.
Illegal forward pass on the offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty from the spot, loss of down, second down.
As Parkland will now end up losing that little gain because Luke Spang ended up throwing the ball past the line of scrimmage towards one of his wide receivers. It's one of those decision-making things where you have to either decide to run the ball or pass the ball a little bit quick. As Luke Spang will then look for number 22, which is Trey Trimba, towards the right side of the field, and he will be stopped at the 27-yard line.
Jalen Drummond in the stop for the Panthers.
Parkland's offense is looking for some direction from their coaching staff to see what they should do with this play to hopefully get the first down.
Tate Trumbo is now motion to the left side of the field. Luke Spang is looking for Nakai Bullock, and he will hit him on a quick little hitch route where he is then stopped for a quick little gain.
Marinovich and Evans combine on the stop. Be 4th and 3.
It is now 4th down with with 3 yards to gain. It's going to be interesting to see what Parkland does here. They're in a very interesting situation where they can either run the ball or pass the ball, and it seems to be like they're going to be setting up to run the ball towards the middle. With Dewey Adams now taking the handoff, and he will then run the ball up the middle for
Delir Adams.
10-yard gain, and he ended up powering through the Pocono Mountain West defensive line. He powered through them. He took the whole entire team with him.
That is something that Delir Adams can do very well, and we have seen him do very well not only in tonight's game but throughout the entire season, and I wouldn't expect anything less than seeing him continue to do that as this game continues and into, hopefully for the Trojans, further into the postseason.
If this is a pass, I will look towards number 11 or on the left side of the field, but it is not, and Delir Adams will then take the ball, run, and for a quick little 7-yard gain, and he will then be stopped at the 4-yard line. But as I was saying, towards the left side of the field, it's a quick little 1v1 matchup. So number 11, which is Jack Harrison, he has what he wants, which is a man versus man. So he could either do because he's really tall, he could either go and catch up for a quick little fade, or he could do a slam route.
There's a lot that the Trojans could do here with less than 5 yards to go into the end zone, and we will see what Luke Spang does.
False start on Parkland.
False start. 55 offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
And that will be a 5-yard penalty on Parkland, and repeat 2nd down. Luke Spang will then take the ball, hike it, hand the ball up to Delir Adams, and Delir Adams will run up the middle for a touchdown, but just wait, hold on your celebration. There's now a flag thrown on that play.
Adams on the carry, penalty flag on the play.
It seems like holding might be the call on the offensive line.
During the play, holding 51 on the offense.
Holding number 51 on the offense, which is going backwards again, which is 2 costly penalties where they've been close to having a touchdown, but that last play was a touchdown, but it just got called back. Very unfortunate for Parkland.
It could be emotions, it could just be getting caught up in the play, but if Parkland is going to want to get this touchdown before the end of the 2nd quarter, they are going to have to stop having these penalties that keep pushing them farther and farther back.
I would expect Trey Trumbo to run a quick little drag route here, but Luke Spang will then look towards that field, and it is dropped by number 11, Jack Harrison. It's dropped by number 11.
Pass intended for Harrison. Incomplete. Michael Lawrence on the coverage for the Panthers. Be 3rd and 15 Trojans.
3rd and 15 for Parkland. If I was Parkland here, I would just run the ball. You know, there's no need for you to pass the ball and risk an interception here. There's no point of you risking having an interception because you could have a field goal here and lead the game then 31-6. And Luke Spang will then fumble the snap, and he will then be sacked towards the 20-yard line. And now another flag is now thrown on that play. It could be a holding call where maybe the offensive line tried protecting his QB and ended up holding on to the defensive lineman. We will see.
Holding 55 on the offense.
Yep, holding number 55 on the offense.
4th down.
The penalties declined, and now it is 4th down. That was a crucial stop that Pocono Mountain West needed in order for them to get some momentum that they already had.
Number 95, Griffin Mitzdorfer, is coming onto the field, so we will see what the Trojans do.
as for Parkland, it's going to be interesting to see what they do now that they've finally been stopped on offense.
The Trojans will snap the ball. Midstifer will take the kick, and it is short of the 3 points.
Your goal attempt is no good. 29 seconds remaining in your first half of play. Parkland 28.
The kick is no good, and now Pocono Mountain West will now have a chance to score, which I see as very, very, very slim because this Pocono Mountain West QB has only been able to run the ball, and I fully expect the Pocono Mountain West, the Parkland defense to very much pressure that QB in order to make him stop running the ball, and the deep ball has been very non-existent for Pocono Mountain West so far up to this game, but it all could change. Who knows?
There has to be some momentum coming off of that run for the Pocono Mountain West defense as they were able to, for the first time in the night, stop the Trojans from getting another touchdown.
As Pocono Mountain West will now kneel the ball, and that should take us to the end of the half. And it will end up taking us to the end of the half. So far, Parkland is beating Pocono Mountain West 28-6.
Parkland 28, Pocono Mountain West 6.
Here comes the Pocono Mountain West Marching Band, who will now perform their halftime performance. We will hold off on our commentary until after Pocono Mountain West halftime performance.
For all the work that the Pocono Mountain West Marching Band, for both, actually puts on the field, you got to respect it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Pocono Mountain West High School Marching Band.
A great performance from the Pocono Mountain West Marching Band, and now the Parkland Trojan Marching Band will take the field.
It does, yes. So I'll be recording the sound too. Is that okay? Okay. Don't be cursing like you always do when you curse games. I can't handle it. That's right. What was that? I know.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For your halftime entertainment, Parkland High School is proud to present the 2021 edition of the Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band under the direction of Jason LaRue and Allison Figueroa, assisted by Mark Sislo. Our percussion coordinator is Justin Tanzos, assisted by Emily Boger. Our color guard coordinator is Sydney Sherrier, assisted by Giovanna Romano, and our marching band coordinator is Mrs. Connie Baxter. For your halftime entertainment, the band will be transporting you to the concert arena with rock classics from then and now. Music by AC/DC and My Chemical Romance, featuring flugelhorn soloist Mitchell Roth. Help us celebrate our return to the big stage after our tour's hiatus. And now, under the field direction of drum majors Isabella Landis, Elena Attia, Lucy Schilling, and field conductor Rowan Keister, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band. Attention, stage musicians. Final sound check. Doors opening any second. Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band.
As always, a great performance by the Parkland High School Marching Band that gets everyone super excited for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it any better. What are your thoughts so far on this game?
I think Parkland has obviously been dominating a lot of the game, and as we were seeing towards the end, Pocono Mountain West was starting to step it up a little bit, and Parkland's offense had that failed touchdown opportunity, but I do still think Pocono Mountain West's defense is tired, so it will take a lot out of them to continue.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it any better. Parkland was setting an early tempo earlier on in the game. It seemed like it was about to go into a mercy rule, if I'm being honest. But then the QB number 9 for Pocono Mountain West, he just decided to put the team on his back, and he kept on. He was running, he was passing the ball, all things that you like to see in a QB. And then they end up scoring the touchdown, and once Parkland gets the ball back, it seemed like they were gaining some momentum. They were about to score, but then those 2 costly penalties held them back on that drive. They ended up not scoring the touchdown, and now they're still winning 28-6, which is a large margin, but it's going to be interesting to see how they respond back.
Coming back onto the field now are both teams, the Trojans and the Panthers, ready for the second half.
The person that I would like to highlight, though, for Parkland is Delir Adams. He's been amazing this game. He's already had 2 touchdowns, and Luke Spang too. Like he's ran the ball, he's passed the ball. He has 2 passing touchdowns already. It's been a really good performance by them, and Nico Meiler too. Even though he does have 1 touchdown, he has 1 touchdown, and Nico Meiler's been doing it all on defense and on offense.
You have to give Luke Spang some credit, especially because as a sophomore, this is his first game playing in a district playoff in general, and then being the starting QB for the team that's the first seed is very high pressure, and he has handled it very well.
Yeah, he's handled this pressure very well. He seems to be relaxed and calm in the pocket. There's been a few mistakes, but it's nothing to worry about because he's just been so terrific this game. Like, there's been some runs where, obviously, the penalty that he had, it wasn't too bad, but you just gotta remember like where the line of scrimmage is, and you can't pass it past the line of scrimmage.
In situations like that, obviously, he has to make judgment calls and what he thinks is best, and the pressure that's around him, and just do what he can to move the ball at all.
And Parkland will receive the ball to start the third quarter, which is very crucial if they want to. Which is very crucial because we're now going to see how they respond back from that that touchdown that they were not able to score.
Parkland has a very good run game, especially off of those kicks, and as we saw earlier with Nakai Bullock being able to run the ball almost to the 50-yard line, they can receive the ball very well and do great things with that. So if Parkland can get off on the right foot on this first play, their second half could be set up in a pretty good position. Both teams finishing up their final talks with their coaches and heading out onto the field to be able to get this second half rolling.
Trey Tremba, Nakai Bullock back deep for the Trojans.
As Trey Tremba and Nakai Bullock are now set to receive the ball in the backfield.
Both are very good options that the Trojans have to be able to try and get a good starting position for their offense.
As the kicker will now kick the ball all the way towards the end of the field. That was a really squibbly kick. It bounced. Kai Bullock, he ended up mishandling the ball, but he will now run out of bounds at the 34-yard line, and that seems to be a late hit, which you cannot do. That was a late hit, so the ball will now be placed now at the 44-yard line because of that late hit.
Was over. Personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Number 10 on the kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Those extra couple yards will be very helpful for the Trojans in starting this push for more points on the scoreboard. So we'll see what they do with that as Luke Spang and his offense takes the field.
And the ball will be placed at the 50-yard line, not the 44-yard line, like I said. I'll look for Luke Spang will now hand the ball up to Delir Adams, and he will run towards the right side of the field, and he will break out for another run, a big run, and this run seems to be going towards. He tried diving in for a touchdown, but he just barely made it. He was so close, but that Pocono Mountain West safety ended up catching up to him.
Having that speed for Pocono Mountain is something that we haven't really seen tonight, but is proving to be helpful to them in that play. But we'll see what Parkland is able to do, being so close to the end zone, to see if they can get that touchdown.
I think something that we haven't really shown appreciation to so far this game has been the offensive line for Parkland. As Delir Adams will now get the ball handed off to him yet again, and he will run and try to power forward past that Pocono Mountain West defensive line, and he will gain a yard. That's something that we haven't seen though from Pocono Mountain West, is them being able to stop the run at all this game so far.
Delir Adams is so good at being able to break through pretty much anything and being able to get through that offensive line. So him being able to do that in the last play was very crucial.
Ball will now be handed off to Delir Adams, and he will run in for a touchdown and power his way through for another touchdown. Parkland, 34-6.
Adams from 3 yards out.
Delir Adams, another touchdown. What can I say? I told you that if this game was gonna, if anyone was gonna have to, if there was something that we have to look forward to in this team, it would have to be Delir Adams and see how he responds tonight. And he already has 3 touchdowns. He's had that huge breakout run earlier on in this drive, and it's amazing to see what he's done so far tonight.
And Griffin Midstifer will take the kick for Parkland for the extra point. He takes it, and it is good.
Point is good.
35-6, Parkland in the lead.
Parkland 35, Pocono Mountain West 6.
But as I was mentioning that last drive, that Parkland offensive line, besides those 2 penalties during that last drive before going into this third quarter, they've been really terrific this whole entire night. They've been able to block for Luke Spang and for Delir Adams, and they've been able to hold enough. They've been able to stand off the pressure from the Pocono Mountain West defensive line this whole entire night, which has been really good for them. I haven't really seen a sack from that Pocono Mountain West offensive line at all this night.
When you have such talent in Delir Adams and Luke Spang, with them having a good offensive line, that really makes them unstoppable, as we have seen tonight.
As Griffin Midstifer will now be set all to kick.
Midstifer will take the kick, and Pocono Mountain West will receive.
He received at the 10-yard line, and now he's down at the 35-yard line. As Parkland's defense now looks to take the field. It's going to be interesting now to see how now they respond. Now the offense responded, they scored a touchdown, but it's going to be interesting now to see how they respond, because they gave up a touchdown in the long drive to the QB. If I was Parkland's defensive coach, I would now start either having a spy on that QB, because you know that he likes to run the ball in those quick little RPOs, or I just start now sending a bunch of pressure towards that QB because this Pocono Mountain West offensive line has not been able to withstand all that pressure.
That point that you just made was definitely something that Coach Muntzman, their head coach, and their defensive coach would most certainly have brought up during their halftime meetings that they had just a few minutes ago.
And it's that Parkland defensive line will now stuff the running back on that quick little handoff that the QB tried doing it. He was not able to go nowhere, and he was stuffed at that defensive line. I will look for Nico Meller on the left-hand side because there seems to be no one blocking towards his line, and the Parkland defensive line just created a shift for him. As they now get pressure on the QB, number 55, Noah Rohde, which disrupts the pass because all the pressure, the QB had to make a quick throw. Either he takes the sack or he throws the ball and just hopes it goes to one of his wide receivers.
That's something that if Parkland can continue to do and continue to pressure their QB, he will get flustered and he will make plays that won't help them.
Number 2 on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, first down.
The defensive pass interference on Nico Meller, and if you can't get a first down by running or passing the ball, which they haven't been able to really do tonight, you might as well just take those penalties, but you might as well take them, and you might as well get them. I mean, technically it does count as positive yards, if we look at it a certain way on a box score where it's penalty against the defense.
Whether Pocono Mountain West had something to do with it or not.
As number 9 for Pocono Mountain West will now take the handoff. He's looking towards the left-hand side of the field, and he's looking down, and he hits his wide receiver, number 4. Touchdown, Pocono Mountain West. It seems to me like as a defense, they got confused towards that middle side of the field because he was trying to look for that quick little slant route. The defense thought that he was looking for that quick little slant route, and he ended up throwing it down the field. But that touchdown will now be called back because of holding on number 73 on the offense. Illegal block on the back, which, takes away what I just said of that good pass. It was a good pass, don't get me wrong, but I will say this. That holding call definitely hurt them.
As Parkland saw in the first half, you can't have those penalties happening on plays that could end in a touchdown, and that will hurt Pocono Mountain West. We'll see if they continue that momentum or not.
As Parkland's lined up in a 4-3 defense, and a lot of pressure is now coming. Number 9 is coming off the right-hand side, and the wide receiver seems to slip up, and so does the defensive cornerback. He's slipping up again, and he falls down at the 45-yard line.
There is a flag on the field, and we will see what the refs have noticed.
Flag on the play. Eric on the stop for the Trojans.
Welcome back yet again for Pocono Mountain West. We were talking about them saying how positive yardage. Now, starting to look like negative yardage. That defensive pass interference is not helping them at all. What looked like momentum is now not looking too good for them.
Utilizing those fouls will only help them when it's Parkland committing them and not their own team.
If I was them, I'm looking to throw the ball just down the field and just hoping for a miracle right now. If I was him, I would look towards the left side of the field with the single one-on-one matchup because all the 3 wide receivers towards the right-hand side of the field are all covered, and that will be now a false start. You have offside. It was coming from the left side of the field, and that is number 54.
Prior to snap, I'll start.
No, never mind. False start, as I said, on offense yet again. So I think this might be the first time in playoff history we might see a first and 28 on this drive. Now, never mind. First and 34. It's been a pretty interesting first drive for Pocono Mountain West with all these penalties and offsides. They're lined up now in a 3-4, which means that now they have 4 linebackers now. He does a quick little throws a quick little screen to number 1, which goes for nowhere, and Parkland's defense is now able to stop him.
Brought down by Jesse Roosh.
With this sort of position, right now they really don't have to do too much. They could just sit in the backfield because they know that the quarterback isn't going to test them, and if they do throw it really close, they have those 2 slot cornerbacks where they can now just those 2 slot cornerbacks they're hoping can make the tackle and they can stop them. Timeout called Pocono Mountain West.
Parkland is looking for bus drivers. If you are a motivated and safe driver, come join our outstanding transportation department. Find information on how to apply by going to the Parkland School District Human Resources website under Transportation Application Process. And if you have any questions, please call 610-351-5690 or email the transportation department at psdtrans@parklandsd.org.
Speaking about bus drivers, I remember in middle school I had a really nice bus driver. His name was Jose. Shout out to Jose. Oh my, that was the nicest bus driver I've ever had. And he recognized me the other day at a store. He was like, "What's up, Daniel?" I was like, "What's up, Jose?" Yeah, but he's a really nice bus driver, so shout out to Jose. As Parkland's now looking to take the field, it is now a 3-4 defense that they're in with the four cornerbacks in the backfield, as number 9 is now looking to throw the ball really deep. Never mind, he throws a quick little drag route to number 4, and number 22 gets across on Parkland. And that quick little 4-yard, pass will now be turned into them now being on the 25-yard line. So, erase everything I said about the penalties and how it's been a weird drive. They're now at the 30-yard line. You thought Jose was a bus driver? Have you seen the Pocono Mountain West running back truck run down the field? The bus. That's his nickname. I know that's used by Jerome Bettis, but that's the bus right now. The mini bus. Beep beep. he was beeping. He was trucking through the defensive line for Parkland. As number 9 will now hand off the ball to Pocono Mountain West running back, and he will be stopped and pushed to the ground. He was stopped at the 33-yard line.
Nico Medler on the stop for the Trojans. Second and 6, Panthers. The Trojan 26.
It's 2nd and 6 for the Panthers on the Trojan 26.
This drive for Pocono Mountain West has taken up a lot of time in. If they're looking to make a comeback, this is not something that you want. You want it to be a quick and over drive where you could score a touchdown in. It has been this drive has gone their way, but yet again, like, you're taking off a lot of time and you're wasting too much time right now.
Not enough time, though, for Parkland to not be able to have enough time to be able to get more points.
Pocono Mountain West will now hand off the ball, and the running back and the QB will try to look to run the ball, and he will be stopped at the 30-yard line. Nico Meller seems to have gone there first, and then a bunch of Parkland Trojans just stopped and trucked the QB and brought him down.
This is not the first time tonight. If one Parkland defender is there, they all are, and they all will make sure that tackle happens. And they will swarm the offense and the QB to make sure that that play doesn't get the offense any positive yardage. As
Pocono Mountain West is now is now taking the snap. Parkland's now back in that 4-3 defense. And timeout called.
Prior to snap, delay game, offense.
No timeout called. Sorry about that. It was a false start on Pocono Mountain West. Now the ball is now placed back at the 34-yard line.
Hopefully this penalty will not start a series of events like their last penalty, and they will be able to continue to play the game.
But hey, who knows, if it does end up having like last time, we could see a 1st and 50. Who knows if it goes like if it goes like earlier on in this drive, we could see 1st and 50. Be interesting to see. I'll look towards the left-hand side of the field where that 1v1, where that one-on-one matchup is now happening, and the QB throws the field in. It's just hoping someone can catch it. That was a badly thrown ball, but a lot of pressure was brought on him by the Parkland defensive line.
As we've stated before, the Parkland defense they swarm and they do that well, and when they do that successfully, it's their ball and the quarterback isn't going to be able to do anything with it.
This is a good way how this defense has responded now to, after giving up that 1st and 35. This has been really good how they responded to this after giving up that, as I said, big drive. It's been really good so far. As the QB will now take the snap and empty set, and he will be sacked by number 54 and a bunch of swarming Parkland Trojans on that defensive line. The offensive line was not able to do anything, and he just got stopped. And that takes him out of field goal range, so right now they're not going to be able to do anything.
Pocono Mountain West's offensive line cannot let those cracks happen because Parkland's defense will slip through and they will get that sack.
Northampton 14, Pleasant Valley 7.
Parkland's offense coming out of their huddle to see what they can do with this offensive drive.
With Delir Adams in the backfield right now.
Nakai Bullock and Jack Harrison out on the outside to be able to possibly receive a ball if Luke Spang decides to throw, but the play has stopped.
It's going to be a false start on the offense.
Prior to snap, false start, 24 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
It's now going to be 1st and 15 now. It was a false start, number 24. That play before got called for a flag. It seemed to be a RPO where Luke Spang could have thrown it, but he was most likely going to run it. So now that the defense knows what he might do, they might do it again, which I highly doubt they will. But they're going to do something similar to that later on in this drive. I guarantee it. As now that's an RPO, and he throws to number 24, Jendo Sanchez. As we said, the flag was on him, but now he makes up for it, and now they're a yard shy of the 1st down.
John McNeil in the coverage for the Panthers. He's 2nd and 1.
Luke Spang takes the ball, hikes it, hands it to Delir Adams, and he runs up the middle, and he's just running his way through that defensive line, and he has enough for that 1st down.
Even in a situation like that, Delir Adams being able to get through those defenders to just gain those couple of yards that will get them the 1st down is very important for the Parkland offense.
For the Panthers.
As the Parkland offense is now waiting for the next play, Luke Spang is now calling it. Delir Adams in the backfield. He's now on the left side of Luke Spang. Luke Spang hikes the ball. He's looking for a quick little drag route underneath. He does not get it. He's running away, and he gets sacked in the backfield. There's nothing he could really do there. He tried running it. It wasn't there for him. He then looked for number 24 and number 9 on the quick little drag route, but the defense was too good right there. The deep pass was taken away from him by number 25 and the safety over the middle, so he really couldn't do anything there. So that was just a good defensive play by Pocono Mountain West.
The Panther 46.
As Luke Spink hikes the ball and hands the ball up to Dulaire Adams, he will run up the middle, fight for those extra yards, and him and the offense line will power through Pocono Mountain West. He is saying, give me those yardages. And the ball will now be placed at the 30-yard line.
First down.
He will not be denied that first down.
Dulaire Adams truly is a force to be reckoned with to be able to get through pretty much all of the Pocono Mountain West defenders with, some help from his teammates, obviously, with good blocking, but he really did push through a good majority of them to be able to get Parkland that first down.
As Luke Spink hikes the ball, hands the ball off. He does not hand the ball off. It was a quick little fake, and that defense is not fooled by it. Number 20 stops Luke Spink in his tracks at the 34-yard line.
Europe. So 4 to play, 2nd and 14 Trojans. The Panther 34.
As Luke Spink hikes the ball, he's looking down towards the field, and he hits. He does not hit. It was really close, but the pass is deflected by number 7.
14.
That pass intended for Nakai Bullock would have been very helpful to the Trojans in this run, but it sadly was not there.
Luke Spink hikes the ball. He's looking down towards the field, and he does not hit his intended target, which was number 11, which was Jack Harrison. He does not hit Jack Harrison on that quick little. He runs up, then he runs back. So quick little comeback route.
If Spang is noticing that those passes aren't there that he's trying to hit, he could change it up and do something different. We know he can run it. We know he has running backs who can run it, and we'll see what he decides to do with this play.
I'll look for Ty Trumper to either run in the middle or do a quick little slant route if they do end up passing the ball. I'll look for Trey Trumper here, and yep, as I told you, he's running towards the middle, and
number 22, Trey Trumper. Completion was good for a Trojan. First
Trey
down.
Trumba, also a sophomore like Luke Spang, making his first playoff appearance and also as a starter, and has also been very impressive tonight, constantly being
Quick
able to
scoring
move the ball
update for you in the
positively
third.
for yards for the
Emmaus
Trojans.
20, Nazareth 19.
as Peyton Marciniak now enters the field. Flag was thrown on that play.
Snap, false start.
False start on offense. After a good throw by Luke Spang to straight Trumbo, that's not how you want to respond back from that. It is now 1st and 15. Ball is placed at the 17-yard line.
Spang's pass intended for Harrison, incomplete. Michael Lawrence on the coverage. Be 2nd and 15 Trojans.
As Luke Spang hikes the ball, hands the ball up to Dulaire Adams, and he's running towards the right side. He's trying to power his way through number 13, and he does. The ball will now be placed at the 13-yard line.
Tackle. Be 3rd and 10 Trojans. The Panther 13.
Luke Spang hikes the ball, does a quick little pass to his intended target, and it is not complete. He was looking for Jack Harrison there, a very tall wide receiver, and he just cannot hit him.
Incomplete.
Good throw. Jack Harrison just couldn't catch the ball.
The look there was good, and Jack Harrison was in a position that he could have gotten that, especially with his height, but it just wasn't
4th and 10
meant to be with that catch.
Luke Spang trying to avoid all the pressure in the pocket, and he is not able to as he is brought down at the 22-yard line.
Spang sacked by number 28, Jalen Drummond. Panthers take over on downs.
Pocono Mountain West will take over on downs from that final sack of Luke Spang for Parkland's last push for a touchdown in that run.
And the other games for Freedom is now beating Easton 30-7, and for Allentown Central Catholic is beating Pottsville 28-21. As number 9 for Pocono Mountain West is looking downfield, and his wide receiver drops the ball. He had it for a little bit, and then he dropped it. That was a really good pass breakup though by number 6 and number 4 of Parkland, which was Victor Pagan and Will Carrick. That was a really good pass deflection by them to break up the pass.
Look for the pass, 88, the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
As there was now a penalty called on the defense for Parkland. That will now bring that will now be a repeat of first downs, as the chains will now move.
With 1:30 left in the third quarter, Pocono Mountain West doesn't have too much time to try and get something to happen, but they do have enough theoretically, and if they can move past this Parkland defense, they can do it.
Ball's at the 35-yard line. I would fully expect number 9 to try to pass the ball really deep down the field, and I think that's going to be a huge costly error if he does end up passing it really deep, or look for a quick little slant. Never mind. As he hands the ball to number 1 for Pocono Mountain West, and he is not able to get any form of momentum.
We've said this before, and we'll say it again. If you try and run the ball up the middle through the Parkland defense, they will stop you, and they will stop you at full force. That exactly is what happened in that last play.
Okay, we're going to do final countdown, so let people know as they come up into the stands. Get final countdown up and ready.
Parkland's been in that 4-3 defense most of this night, as number 9 will now hike the ball, and Nico Miller will get there for pressure, and the QB then throws it to number 7, and that's a fumble. That should be a fumble recovered by number 8, which is Andrew Khalifi.
7, Brandon Evans, fumbled, recovered by Khalifi.
It looks as if the referees did point in the direction that was recovered, and it will be Parkland's ball.
Even then, Andrew Khalifi had a really good recovery. He slipped up earlier on in that play, but then he ended up recovering the fumble, and he ended up stripping the fumble, which was really good for Parkland.
Countdown in 39 seconds. Everybody has the final countdown up and ready to play. 1, 0.
As Parkland's offense now looks to take the field yet again. But I must say that pressure by Nico Miller there was really good. As Delir Adams now handed the ball off. Again, he's running towards the right side of the field, and he is stopped in his tracks at the 42-yard line.
Jalen Drummond on the stop.
With not much time left in the third quarter, we'll see what Spang and his offense decides to do with these 12 seconds remaining, if they do anything.
As that will now bring us to the end of the third quarter, with the fourth quarter now starting up. It is now 35-6, Parkland in the lead.
And as a final friendly reminder, the Parkland School District is hiring for positions in the food service department, substitute teachers, as well as bus drivers and in the transportation department.
Shout out Jose. As Parkland hands the ball to Delir Adams. And Delir Adams is stopped 1 yard shy of the first down. Correction, it was Trey Treba. He was stopped 1 yard shy of the touchdown. Of the first down.
James Scott, your ball carrier.
Luke Spain gets the ball, hands the ball to Trey Tremba, and it looks like he has enough for the first down, but he might just be an inch or two just shy.
Jeffrey Thompson on the stop.
And he will be shy of the first down.
Be 4th and 1 Trojans. The Panther 40.
As Parkland will now be stopped on that 4th down conversion. They try running it in with number 28. They try running it with James Scott, and he was not able to.
Panthers take over on downs.
As Pocono Mountain West's offense will now take the field. Pocono Mountain West now takes the hand. Now it's as well. Number 9 for Pocono Mountain West takes the handoff, runs it, and he will be out of bounds at the 27-yard line. That's all that seems to be working for Pocono Mountain West. I do not know why they haven't been doing this.
I'm pretty sure I
this game.
saw.
It seems like it's almost a little bit too late to do this now.
I think I saw a flag on the field, so we'll see what the refs call.
During the run, holding. 77 on the offense.
Holding number 77 on the offense, and that long run is now being brought back. This game for Pocono Mountain West has not gone their way at all. It's just been, they have a long run, holding, have a hold run, holding. It's not been going their way at all.
That can't be great momentum after thinking that they had that run and they had that positive yardage. Having it taken back really is a gutting feeling for them, and they're going to have to really continue to try and make up some time and some points.
As another flag will now be thrown.
Prior snap. Full start. 73 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And a full start on Pocono Mountain West yet again. They just lost 10 yards just from that.
I'm wondering if we're going to have another one of those plays where they get pushed back 30, 40 yards.
Hey, that'd be interesting to see. Trying to go 99 yards down the field. And yet again, another false start on Pocono Mountain West. You know what? Maybe your wish might just come true. Maybe we might see a first in, whatever. But you want to know what? 99 yards down the field. That'd be interesting to see. as QB for Pocono Mountain West will now hike the ball, hand the ball up to the running back. And the running back, it looks like he might just gain all those yards back from that. Running down the 40, the 35. We might see like 10 penalties now coming up with all the holding holds start. Who knows? Maybe they might go down all the way to the track field and might hike the ball from there.
Parkland's defense is going to have to stay really tight because they left just that little bit of space open there, and Pocono Mountain West was able to capitalize on that and get those yards that were very crucial and got them to the 35. You give them an inch and they'll take a mile.
What I will say though is whenever Parkland, whenever Pocono Mountain West is put in those situations where it's 1st and 40, 1st and 35, they always seem to get it, and like that Parkland's defense always seems to slack on that. When they think that it's not too much yardage, but I mean it is a lot of yardage, but they just give all those yards back, which is not really good, and that's not something that you want to see. Pocono Mountain West will now hike the ball. He's looking towards the middle of the field, and he will have an open wide receiver, number 4,
Touchdown.
in the middle of the field. Touchdown, Pocono Mountain West. Now while we may not have gotten that 1st and 99 that we had to see them march down the field for, they still had to march down a pretty long way of the field. They went from a 1st and 30, 1st and 35 to now scoring a touchdown. That's pretty good, I would say.
For them being able to do that, I mean, that is impressive, but you also have to wonder what happened with Parkland's defense allowing that to happen, and see how they'll respond and how their offense responds to hopefully get some more points on the board in Parkland's favor.
As Pocono Mountain West's extra point attempt is good. You said it. You couldn't have said it any better. The defense. That's not something that you want to see if Parkland does end up going on a long playoff run. You do not want to see them giving up those long yardages. Like giving up a 1st and 45. That's a not 1st and 45, but 1st and 30. But that's not something that you want to see from a playoff team that's looking to go really deep in the playoffs.
We see Parkland's offense huddle up, and we're going to see how they respond to that and see what they do to be able to see what they do after that and how they respond to something that could set them back.
But this is a time where Luke's playing now. This is a time where he's now having to face, like for the first time ever, he's going to have to face diversity. It's going to be interesting to see how he responds. This is a time where he has to motivate the team and step into that QB role of leadership and motivate them. His number 1, which is Dillard Adams, will fumble the snap, and he takes a knee. Ball will be placed down at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 Trojans from their own 23. 10-10 remaining in your ball game.
A quick update from some other games happening in the Valley. Freedom and Easton. Freedom is up 37-14 at this point.
As Luke Smang takes the hike, he hands the ball up to Delir Adams on the left side of the field, and he will be stopped before gaining a couple yards. The ball will be placed down at the 33-yard line.
Clear Adams. Troy Harder on the stop for the Panther.
It is now 2nd and 8. Luke Spang now takes the hike, hands the ball up to Dooley Adams in the middle, and Dooley Adams will power his way through that defensive line of Pocono Mountain West, and the ball will now be placed at the 31.
George Europe on the tackle.
Luke Spang now takes the handoff. He hands the ball to Dooley Adams. Dooley Adams will cut his way through. He breaks that man's ankles. He breaks number 15's ankles. And he seems to trip at the 45-yard line.
We've seen Dillier Adams be able to push through multiple defenders, but in this time we saw a little bit more of a finesse style run where he was able to get some people out of his way, break some ankles, and get some positive yards for Parkland.
I will look for number 10, Nakai Bola, as that ball is very badly placed and thrown. Luke Spang's lucky that didn't turn into an interception, which could turn into points against him.
2nd and 10.
That's the only bad play that I've seen though from Luke Spang so far this whole entire game so far tonight. That's the only bad play we've only really seen Luke Spang do.
He's been very impressive by all means, and especially like we said, he is a sophomore, so that is super impressive for him to be able to come out here and make positive impact, especially after your senior starting quarterback gets hurt so early in the season.
Luke Spang looking to run, he evades all the pressure. He's throwing it down the field, and it is unfortunately not caught.
Incomplete.
That was very good pocket awareness, though. He realized that there was pressure coming from the left and right side. He did not want to take the sack, and then he evades the pocket pressure, and he rolls out to his left, tries to look for a target down the field, and even though he didn't complete the pass, it's better than him taking the sack down there.
His pass was even in the direction of some of his receivers, so it wasn't even like he just threw it and it went nowhere. He did it with some purpose, which is very impressive.
Luke Spang then hands the ball off to Trey Trumba, and he will be stopped at the 51-yard line.
James Scott, the ball carrier. George Europe on the tackle.
It is now 4th down and 4 yards to go.
We've seen the Trojans going for it on the 4th downs a lot throughout tonight and not really choosing to put the ball or do anything. So we'll see what they do with this 4th down play. Never mind, they are punting the ball.
And that was a really good punt, I must say. Oh, and a fumble. And number 4 for Parkland, Will Carrick ends up scoring a touchdown.
Trojans, number 4, William Carrick for the fumble recovery.
(41-13) Parkland. Will Carrick scores his first points of the night.
Next time for the extra point, Medler to hold.
As Griffin Midstiffer is now looking for the extra point attempt.
Mitstifer will take the kick, and it is good for the extra point for the Trojans, making it 42-13 with 7:35 left.
Let's be careful not to rush that fight song, people. Hey, brass, look at me, brass. Brass, trumpet. Trumpet, stand up. Remember, we're separating the fight song, separating them.
Alex Kelster kicking off for the Trojans.
The Trojans will kick off again, and Pocono Mountain West will run it up, and they will get to the 43.
Matthew Marinovich on the return for the Panthers.
As that kick returned, then the kick returner then got stopped by a bunch of Parkland Trojans.
Scrub line, number three, scrub line.
As that shift is now going to cause a penalty. That shift then caused the offensive line of Pocono Mountain West to create a false start.
Pocono Mountain West just can't seem to avoid these false starts, and I don't know if it's excitement or whatever their emotions are at this point, but they're gonna have to stop with those false starts if they're gonna want to get some moves.
As the running back is now going to be stopped in the backfield at the 41-yard line.
Bowen's your ball carrier.
39-yard line.
Russell Clark on the stop for the Trojans.
That play showed the same trend that we've seen throughout this entire night, with Pocono Mountain West really only being able to run it if their quarterback runs it and not their running backs, because Parkland's defense know how to stop a running back and do it very well.
As number 9 looks to then throw the ball, and the ball seems to have been a little bit too low where the wide receiver could not catch the ball.
All right, radar low. After the snap.
As number 9 then ends up taking the snap, he will then do a quick little screen pass to number 4, and that ball is not anywhere close to number 4, the running back. As Jose will say, defense is key.
That had to be just the quarterback getting flustered, because there were 3 Parkland defenders running right at him, and he didn't have much time to make a decision, so throwing the ball was his best option, even if it didn't necessarily go or end up how he wanted it to.
As Pocono Mountain West is now looking to punt the ball. Some people may call it the punishing. As number 22, Trey Trevo returns the ball for 5 yards.
Lift up over 20 Europe.
I'm going to say this hour-long bus ride to Pocono Mountain West is going to be a pretty long one for them.
It's disappointing when you come into a playoff game and lose, but at the same time, this was pretty expected. As stated, as we've said, Parkland was the #1 seed and had such a great season and a really great record. You know, being 8-1, and Pocono Mountain didn't have as good of a record and didn't play as many games, so this clearly was going to go in Parkland's favor.
As number 27 takes a snap and hands the ball off to James.
Number 84, Troy Harder. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 Trojans.
As Chase Cusco is now entering the game as QB, which is really smart. You don't want to risk putting your starters at risk of being injured.
Cusco is a junior, and we'll see what he is able to do with these 5 minutes and 43 seconds that are left.
As James Scott is then stopped at the 37-yard line.
Scott, your ball carrier. Got them at number 64, Brandon Steeler. Gain of 5 on the play. 3rd and 5 Trojans on their own 39.
As James Scott runs the ball and he ends up getting stopped at the 45-yard line.
Scott, your ball carrier. With 31, Jeffrey Thompson with the hit. Scott's carry is good for a Trojan first down.
But that was enough for a Trojan first down, and James Scott will now be taken off the field. Probably want to check on him after that big hit that he just endured. As Chase Cusco hands off the ball to Jared Graham, he will now be stopped at the 50-yard line.
Solid blocking there by Parkland's defensive line to be able to allow that run to happen as they plays and to gain those yards.
2nd and 5 Trojans to 50.
As we look back at this game, it's just been a one-sided game so far. Well, not so far, it's been a one-sided game. Basically this whole entire game by Parkland. And as we look back, it's gonna be a very memorable performance by Delir Adams and Luke Spain. Chase Cusco takes the snap and hands the ball off to James Scott.
Scott, your ball carrier. Jeffrey Thompson again in the stop for the Panthers.
The ball is now placed at the 47-yard line, so 2 yards to go. Parkland's now in shotgun formation. Might be interesting to see Chase Cusco now is finally going to be able to throw the ball, and seems to be like a delay of game. Or no, false start on Parkland.
Prior snap, false start, offensive line. 5-yard penalty.
Yep, false start on Parkland. As the offensive line seemed to move a little bit too quickly.
Parkland could be getting a little antsy and trying to just get that ball and get it moving and get the play going, but in the end that's not going to be helpful as the refs will call their false starts.
And with 2 minutes and 34 seconds, I really wouldn't expect too much to change. I just expect the ball to just be ran a lot more with James Scott.
Couple first downs, couple plays, but again, the same thing that you said. I don't expect anything major to happen.
I'll look there. If they do pass the ball, look towards the left side of the field. That one wide receiver is kept wide open, and they do not, as they just run and pound the ball.
Angelo Rosado, your ball carrier.
As Angelo Rosado then takes the snap, and he is then stopped down 2 yards shy, which now brings us to 4th and 2. With a minute 20 seconds remaining, this game's, I would like to say, basically over, but you never know. Maybe a bound of unlucky plays out of this department, but this game's basically over. What have been your thoughts so far on this game?
I think, obviously, like you said, it's basically over. Parkland is up by so many points. So at this point, we can highlight like the good things that Parkland did, and they had amazing performances tonight by Dahlia Adams, Nico Medler, Luke Spang at the quarterback position, all of which were very vital and crucial to this major win for Parkland going on to the next round of districts.
Yep, and as Angelo Rosado got that first down. It's been a really good performance by Dahlia Adams, Nico Medler, Luke Spang. But I would like to say this, the offensive line did really good tonight. They protected Luke Spang as much as they could. There was a couple sacks there as they went out near the ball, which brings this game to an end. Even I would like to say this though, Pocono Mountain East, the running back and QB, they both did good, but even though the running back, as we call him, the bus, maybe a bus, we have a truck, and that's in Dahlia Adams. Luke Spang, he did amazing tonight. He impressed me more than I thought he would. He was elusive. He had great pocket awareness. He, as a sophomore, as his first ball game, this is gonna be one that he's gonna remember for the rest of his basically his life. He has first football career.
I think this is a very good start for Parkland going into the next round of districts and playoffs to come. And as we've seen and we'll see between the game of Nazareth and Emmaus happening tonight, that will be who the Trojans will face in the next round of district playoffs. They were the number 5 and the number 4 seed, so we will see what happens with that game and who the Trojans face up next.
The only thing that Parkland has to worry about so far is just the defense. Not like the defense was a big concern, but I'm talking about when they gave up those first and 30 plays that Pocono Mountain West was having. That's something that you don't want to really risk happening in the playoffs too much. You don't want to get too comfortable where it's like first and 30 as we saw, and then you end up giving up a touchdown.
And now we are going to go out with the tradition of playing Heart and Hand. I'm Hannah Fredrich.
And I'm Dana Franzone.
Thank you for watching.